Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about how humanity is destroying the planet Earth. Just in the last century, humanity has caused severe damage to the planet, and if we do not change the way we treat the planet in the future, there may be no Earth left to call home for us or our children in the future. In the last 25 years, humans have destroyed a tenth of Earth's wildernesses, and there may be none left within a century if this trend continues. We need to protect the wildernesses for biodiversity, carbon, protecting the poor, accessing a reference point for the human environments. Researchers discovered a huge area the size of two Alaskas has been tarnished by human activities. Between 1993 and today, which experts say is shocking and profoundly large number. They documented an almost 30% loss in South America and a 10% loss globally. The Amazon accounted for nearly a third of the tragic loss. Huge portions of pristine rainforest are still being disrupted despite government slowing deforestation rates over the years. A further 14% disappeared in Central Africa, the home to thousands of different species. The loss of the world's last untouched refugees would not just be disastrous for endangered species, but also for climate change efforts. Because most forests store huge amounts of carbon, without policies to protect these areas, they are quickly deteriorating, and we probably have up to 2 decades to fix things. Wilderness is defined as pristine landscapes mostly free of human disturbances and are ecologically largely intact. Though some do have indigenous people living within them, areas are no longer wilderness if containing humanity's influence like roads, lights, and agriculture. The government and conservation organizations often prioritize efforts on the habitat and not the wilderness, but we have an obligation to protect both in the same way. Besides destroying the wildernesses, often destroy animals' homes and lead to their extinction eventually, anyways. Wilderness areas, particularly forests, can be the best way to deal with climate change because these forests store enormous amounts of carbon. One reason for deforestation is governments are leaving the wilderness unguarded and the land is vulnerable to farmers and land-seeking miners. By 2009, about 23% of Earth's land remains as wilderness. This is about 30.1 million square kilometers. This is 3.3 million square kilometers less than in 1993. And South America is losing 30% of its wilderness, and Africa is losing 14%, including the devastation of large forests and swamps. The Earth's remaining wilderness is home to many mammals on the endangered species list. Rewilding plants by conservationists can also be harmed by loss of wilderness, because the world risks losing a true picture of what certain ecosystems looked like in the past. Once humanity erodes the wilderness away, you cannot technically restore it. They will eventually come back as something else, but not restored to the original wilderness it once was. Scientists predict that if current trends continue, there could be no globally significant wilderness in less than a century. Stopping or slowing the loss of wilderness will require governments to recognize their true value. A Brazilian program that created protected areas to save carbon and help indigenous people is the type of project that can help address the, the decline, but sadly such examples are too few. The sea ice in our oceans is truly vanishing. From 1979 to 2006, sea ice extent decreased by almost 25%. In 2007, Arctic sea ice reached its observable lowest level. This raises concern that the Arctic can be ice-free in only a few decades. The global sea level is rising and at an accelerating rate, especially along the U.S. East Coast and Gulf of Mexico. Global average sea level has increased 8 inches since 1880, with several locations have experienced more than 8 inches of local sea level rise in only the past 50 years. The global population is also increasing drastically. The world population is 7.6 billion people and is expected to reach 8.6 billion in 2030. Since mankind is treating the Earth so poorly, and more show up, it can mean big problems for the future. One certainty is climate science is the world has definitely gotten warmer. Last year was the hottest on record for the third year in a row, and there is a large amount of natural evidence to support this, like glaciers retreating, lands disappearing, and animals shifting their range. This is mostly caused by greenhouse gases and burning fossil fuels. If the trend continues the way it is, there could be no wilderness areas left in less than a century. This would mean certain doom for all life on Earth, but only humans are the cause of this problem. So more humans need to start working towards the solution of revitalizing our natural wilderness. Right now, wilderness is being destroyed faster than we can establish protected areas. Environmental policies are obviously failing them, because despite these, the wildernesses are vanishing right before our eyes. And if we do not do something soon, they will be gone forever, and so will we. Lawmakers need to start making a plan to work towards zero deforestation. The current laws on deforestation are weak and are taking way too much time to pass new laws. They need to act quicker and smarter to come up with a plan of action to start revitalizing the wilderness for all of us. You may not be able to help with all aspects of this problem, but there are little things you can do, like driving an electric car or not emitting greenhouse gases into the environment. It's going to take all of us to fix this problem, and hopefully we can do it all together before it is too late. Thank you.